Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a pleasure to be here today. So Silver47, most of you may not be aware of this company. It's relatively new. We just came out on our public listing debut in mid-November 2024. And our mission really is to create a premier silver exploration, development, and production company. And we've assembled a fairly large portfolio of silver assets with a focus in the U.S. And U.S. assets, especially on the silver side, are rare, and silver assets, high-grade silver assets, are even more rare. And so if you look at this slide here, it's just a snapshot of the three main projects that we have. So the most advanced project is in Alaska, called Red Mountain, and it hosts a 168 million silver equivalent resource. And so we have a couple numbers showing you there, some very high-grade silver and gold. It is a polymetallic deposit, so it's silver, gold, copper, lead, zinc, in addition to antimony and gallium. The other assets are in lower 48, so the Hughes is in Nevada, in the famous Tonopah mining district. It produced significant amounts of silver and gold historically, and we're on the eastern end of the Tonopah vein district. And there's about 45 million ounces of silver equivalent at the Hughes project. And the third asset is in New Mexico called Mogollon. There's about 32 million ounces of silver equivalent. There was a past producer up until World War II. So all these three assets have significant amounts of silver and gold, in addition to some critical minerals. So one of the objectives of Silver47, and the goal that we have, is to achieve a 1 billion ounce silver target and move some of these projects into development and production. So we've got a full pipeline of early stage to advanced stage to development and production assets. We think that the company is, while it's relatively new, we think there's strong re-rate potential for Silver47, and the value of the value proposition that we have to investors is, if you look at our company relative to some of our peers, we're trading around 40 cents an ounce in the ground, relative to some of our peers that are in the $1.50 to over $3 an ounce in the ground. So we think it's a pretty good investment opportunity, and it's a relatively straightforward proposition to make money for shareholders. So I'm a geologist by training, pushing about 30 years experience in resource exploration and development. I was the CEO of Silver47. So we actually merged with a company called Suma Silver. We were two 40 million market cap companies. Today we're about 160 million market cap company. That merger was only closed on August 1st of this year, so 2.5 months ago. And we've traded something like 150 million shares. So gone from 240 million market cap companies to 160. Galen McNamara is the CEO of the company now. He brings some 20 years experience in exploration and resource advancement. So basically a team of explorationists, and plan to rapidly grow this company. And myself and Galen are on the board, and we have Ryan Goodman and Thomas O'Neill as well as experienced board of directors. So currently we're sitting on about 172 million shares outstanding. We went out to get $14 million. Within 1 day, we had 23 million in interest, which we rapidly closed. When that offering was closed, the first week of that closing, we traded 50 million shares on the back of that news. So we're well financed, about 27 million in cash. Most of that money is going in the ground and drilling across these three assets. Right now, we finished drilling in Alaska for the season. We're shifting gears down to New Mexico, and then come spring, we'll be moving into Nevada. So we're basically rotating around these assets to advance them. So we're in good shape. Our largest shareholder, single shareholder, is billionaire Eric Sprott. Management's about 10% of the company, and we have a significant amount of institutional, but still fairly largely retail held. So I think I'll skip the why silver. I think we're all excited to see silver finally breaking out of 50. It looks like the shackles are off silver, and I fully expect silver to break 100 and potentially 200. And hey, why not 1,000? I mean, silver's been managed and or manipulated for the last 50 years. I think we're overdue for a re-rate and an actual price discovery for silver. So I think we're exciting days for silver. I'm not going to go through all the details here, but just to show we've got pretty substantial resources. The main asset is in Alaska. The most advanced project is called Red Mountain. It hosts 15.6 million tons at 336 grams per ton silver equivalent, or 4 grams of gold equivalent if that's easier. But it's made up of silver, gold, copper, lead, zinc. And the other assets are in Nevada, but collectively we're on a combined basis we're about 247 million ounces of silver equivalent in that 300 to 400 gram range. So good grade. We think these are high margin assets that will generate good returns as we advance them to development. That's really the goal. We think we stand a pretty good chance of moving the Red Mountain into a PEA stage within the next 12 months. And so that's our mission, is to get enough drilling, enough resource behind us so we can move this into a PEA and then a fast track to development. So just quickly, Red Mountain is located about 100 kilometers south of Fairbanks. It's really in a tundra area. We're just on the edge of the mountain range. Yeah, it's a classic VMS, polymetallic, a precious metal rich base metals, along with a lot of critical minerals as well. So some 40,000 meters have been drilled on this. This just is showing the long section of one of the resource areas called Dry Creek. And you can look at some of the intervals there, like 9 meters of 725 silver equivalent. And we had some actually quite high grade gold as well, up to 15 grams of gold in one of the intervals. So lots of work to do. We think there's lots of room to grow these resources, and there's something like 35 targets on the project, mineralized zones that have not been drilled. Just quickly, because I'm running out of time here, lots to chat about here. Lots of targets to test in Alaska. Just quickly moving on to Nevada. The Tonopah district is a well-known mining camp in Nevada. You can literally drive there, close, good infrastructure, commercial water, power is all readily available. So this hosts about a 45 million ounce silver equivalent resource, so it's mainly silver and gold. Again, quite high grade. The plan is to advance the drilling on this target to get to a sizable resource that would make economics. We have another mining company in the area called Blackrock Silver that hosts just over 100 million ounces of silver. They're on the west end of the district. We're on the east end of the district. So combined, there's a pretty significant, about 150 million ounce combined in this area. I guess just for time, I'll just kind of move on to Mogollon. Mogollon is actually quite an interesting project in New Mexico. It reminds me a lot of the classic epithermal vein fields that you'd see in Mexico. So it's one of the few or last remaining unexplored, underdeveloped vein field in the U.S. There's been over 77 kilometers of veins. These are low sulfidation quartz veins that are sticking out of the ground with high grade silver and gold. And there's about a 32 million ounce resource. Again, in that sort of this one's 367 grams per ton. So good high grade, lots of opportunity here to grow. And where most of the work has been done, you can see in that sort of yellow area on the southern part of this map, there's only about a 2-kilometer area where most of the drilling has been done. But some pretty impressive drilling results to date. And so we're excited to advance on this zone. Most of the drilling that makes up that 32 million ounce resource is on the right hand side. You can see just below the whiteout area, which was past production on the consolidated mine. So within this about 2-kilometer area, we think there's substantial growth potential just within this 2-kilometer area of the main queen veins, like 6 kilometers long. So lots of upside here, high grade gold and silver. So we plan to continue to advance on this target. So lots of work to do here yet. So just in summary, I think some significant upcoming catalysts for us is we've got meaningful amounts of drill results hitting the market over the coming weeks and months. We're just shifting gears down into New Mexico and plan to drill there through the winter. So stay tuned on that. We're anticipating an updated resource on the Red Mountain, and our goal and objective is potentially with enough meat on the bones there, get that project into a PEA. The other thing is, we're looking to grow. There's 2 ways to grow in this business: is through the drill bit and through M&A opportunities. So while we have a substantial 247 million ounce silver equivalent resource, we're looking to grow through additional acquisitions to get this company to a much larger scale. So with that, I want to thank you for your attention and talk to you soon.